especially when at this point of time when everyone's talking about coronavirus and the lack of funds given to the club, right? Or
Doesn't
the
apply to all
ability to
clubs.
spend.
Doesn't
So I
apply
feel
to all
like I
clubs.
feel like I feel like Chelsea should be focusing on signing someone world class at the back. But then again, Chelsea is not
Not like all clubs.
yeah, so they have a billionaire who can back them up. So money wise, they go deep pockets.
Has
But I
there
mean,
always been a Chelsea that has a good defense?
Yeah. I mean
It's all about entertainment, right?
they did lah. I mean, before that, like when John Terry is there, like
Okay.
there was a time when John Terry is the central defender. They got Pogba and all that, and not Pogba, sorry, Drogba, similar
Mm,
names. My
mm,
apologies.
mm,
So, and then Mourinho was they were scoring one goal and then defending very well. They were playing like
mm,
like a Italy kind of tactic, no score one,
mm.
defend,
That's when
and
Mourinho
they
was in. Mm.
yes, and then they
Okay.
actually literally won the league also. So, they did have that balance in a team. But I think currently, right, that's why I asked Satish whether it is the board's decision or not to get Bruno Fernandes. Because for Chelsea, I don't think it's Lampard's decision. It's probably the board's decision or somebody else who wants to buy. I mean, you can see
they,
so clearly. You got the defense leaking in the goals. I mean, they're not secure enough, and then they actually improve their midfield and attack. Like it really doesn't make sense. As a football manager, you play football manager also. I think you will not be buying these two. Rather, you'll be buying a good central defender.
Yeah, you look at the top six teams, right? Manchester City. Okay, Manchester City, maybe the defense not so good, but Leicester United now, Wolves, and Sheffield United, they have very solid defense now.
Mm.
And if Chelsea do not work on the defense, it might cost them a few games.
E-
Maybe not this season, but
ah,
next season it will bite them. Yeah.
Easily you can see against Wolves. Wolves has like 37 goals against them, and Chelsea has 49. It's like 12 goals more than Wolves. 12 more
But
goals
I
than
saw
Wolves.
the game against Sheffield United. The Sheffield United just do a 1-2 and they get past a few defenders already. And there was a few. There's a one of the goal is a free header. There was no one
mm,
marking him for the
yeah.
Manchester Sheffield United striker. So I think the current crop of defenders either are distracted or maybe they think that it's already the last few games of the
Yeah,
league
that's
already,
yeah,
or
that's
maybe not
probably
good
yeah.
enough. I do not know. But again, throughout the season, I think throughout this season, right, their defense has not been doing so well compared to the other top six teams like Wolves,
Yes.
Sheffield United, and even
Yep.
Manchester United lah. So recently, Arsenal drew with Leicester. Very
Mhm.
unluckily, very close fight, and it was unlucky red card. It was raining lah, so I think Nketiah was very enthusiastic. I think what I was just telling just right. Uh, even the red card, even though if the red card was deserved, I felt that it's good to to encourage Nketiah to have that desire to be aggressive. Because to
Mm.
me, I long for the Arsenal team that is aggressive, which I think for the
Mm.
past half a season they have not been. They have been letting in a lot of. They are neither here nor there. They are not creative as a top five team in the league, but They are not aggressive as the bottom 10 teams in the league. So
Yeah.
to see them fight against Leicester, against Sheffield United recently, right? I think it warms the cockles of my heart. Yeah,
Wow.
it was the cockles of my heart. Right? And I would say, as a
Shout out,
fan, please
famous.
continue to
Yeah.
be aggressive. Unfortunately, bad timing, raining, bad judgment, young player
Yeah.
suddenly get the red card because
Yeah.
bad, becomes a bad tackle. But please, Arsenal continue to be aggressive. And Leicester, I think, looking at their performances, right, they will grind out the narrow wins because
Yeah.
of Vardy. But actually, they are looking as a normal team. If looking at their recent game between them and Arsenal,
I
they
think
are,
for Arsenal because like you say lah, is a good time for Arsenal to now push their performance up. Now the only thing is we don't know when is the next season starting. It could start as early as possible. It could start next year. We won't know. But at the moment, right now is a good time to close the season and show show your capabilities to the manager, especially with Arteta being the manager who will be, he will get the team going with the preseason and all that. If there is a preseason, he will get the whole team gelling up, and these are the players that will be the core players in the team. Like Nketiah,
Yeah.
his performance so far this season is actually quite okay. He's
Yeah.
quite okay, especially for young players. So
Slow progress lah. I think
yeah, it's a
it took
progress.
Ole also a bit of time to
Yep.
improve the system, improve the
Yep.
player. And Leicester's
Mm.
last game is against Manchester United.
That
With such a
something.
close fight,
Yes.
it might be a decider on who goes on top.
1 point
Yeah.
difference only between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the table right now, exactly, United is 2 points away from third, and so as soon as we can secure that win, we would have 61 points, and so the remaining three games will not come as a huge test, because
Really? Okay.
as soon as you win the current game, the other two games become slightly better for you, because the other teams are going to drop points or win the game, because as long as you're ahead, as long as we don't lose this game that is upcoming against Southampton, we would have a 1 point to 2 point clearance from most of the other teams.
Yeah, I think Manchester United has an easy run of the next 3 games because they are facing Southampton, Crystal Palace, and then West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, and looking at their form, that's why I'm saying it's easy lah. Because I'm quite impressed with your Manchester United form lah. Yeah, and then the last game is Leicester.
Even I think even Leicester City may not be a good test for them. So basically, this current form that United has been facing, I'm not taking it away. You guys perform very well. You've been scoring very good goals. Greenwood is truly a good player, very good player. I have to acknowledge that he's a very good player. But real test will come only with big teams, and with Leicester City, actually their past few games, even the past 5 games, they only win 1, draw 3, and they lost once. So their form is actually not really well. So even if they meet United, right, they are meeting a United which is currently on form. So I am expecting United to win against Leicester. And you're right lah. The teams that they are meeting, and they will have an easier test until the end of the season compared to the rest.
Actually, right, as an Arsenal supporter, right, I would want Leicester to win all their 4 games, because their next 4 games right is against Bournemouth. Okay, then after that they will go against Sheffield United, then to Spurs, then Manchester United. So these are the 3 teams that is kind of up there, along with near to Arsenal and near to Manchester United lah, and Wolves. So Leicester, come on, buddy.
So you're hoping? I just told you the form of Leicester City is very low. You're hoping for Leicester City.
They have been the ones after the restart. They are the ones who have gained the least amount of points compared to the top 4 teams lah.
It's a difficult thing for them. I think Manchester United has a better chance to go into the Champions League spot.
I mean, I certainly hope so. I mean, like I said, it's very down to the wire, but ultimately, if we were to secure the 61 points, and we can go up to third, that is going to be a huge difference, because Chelsea would have to come back. You have the likes of Sheffield United and Wolves challenging as well. And ultimately, for Arsenal, it depends on the motivations from today's game, because if they were to lose at Spurs, then that's going to dent a bit of their aspirations for the top 4.
Looking at Manchester United in the recent 3 to 4 games after the restart, the midfield and strikers are performing so well that we don't hear about De Gea being scrutinized, being criticized. Does it really, in that case, does it really help that the midfield and strikers being so dangerous that the defense and goalkeeper is having an easier time?
If you talk about the recent, from the restart, right, Project Restart, the first game was against Spurs. and De Gea commits a very unlikely mistake, right?
A
When
few.
over the course of the season, yes, he
Yeah,
has
oh,
made
yeah.
a
Okay.
few mistakes,
Uh-huh.
but from the restart, the most significant one that led to a goal would be the Spurs game,
Mm.
because he couldn't decide whether he should push the ball away or punch away,
Mm, mm,
so
mm,
kind of deflected into the net.
mm,
I guess that's the thing. The maturity shown by De Gea is just amazing, because and if you realize, Ole does not come out and criticize his players like at
yeah.
any point of time,
Never
even
heard.
when it's post conference or like a pre match conference. He has never come out and alienated his players.
Mm,
So I feel like he's always been very respectful in how he has treated players. When you
mm,
talk about eliminating players that he didn't want, like for example Lukaku, he did not send Lukaku away on a bad note.
mm, mm, mm,
There's no hard
mm,
feelings.
mm, mm,
So I feel like the manager's confidence in you, will grow on to you, and you will feel bad for letting him down, right?
mm,
So I
mm,
feel like De Gea, I guess he kind of buckled up in
mm.
that after that Spurs game. So if
Mm,
you realize from that Spurs game up to now, we've except for the Bournemouth game, we've not considered any other goals. So this shows that of course, when you talk about Harry Maguire being slow, and then of course he's also trying to cement his position in the back line
mm,
together with Lindelof. So I
mm,
feel like it's only going to come together, and it certainly helps when the manager does not criticize you. So a world class player like De Gea will just, okay, I had a bad game, restart, go back to the next one. So I mean, that is what I'm loving about United right now, because
mm.
we are not complacent anymore. We are buckling up. Okay, if we have a bad game, we kind of move on to the next one. And I feel like the philosophy works very well, because it's about your motivation. I mean, you cannot be stuck at having a bad day continuously for 3 days or 3 weeks, right?
Mm,
You move on,
mm,
and if you watch the Villa game, you
mm,
would notice Villa actually played very well. I mean, credits to Villa. They were playing very well for the first 20 to 25 minutes until up to that penalty, the
mm,
controversial penalty.
mm,
They were doing pretty well from them. But
mm,
but I would say once that penalty was scored, there was still time for them to come back into the game, because it was just 1-0.
mm, mm.
And but as soon as Greenwood's goal went in, they lost the motivation.
Yeah.
So I feel like the new Manchester United knows how to kill games now.
I
Is
think
if
just a quick one. I think mentality is a very important thing, because
Mm,
Arteta is really trying hard
mm,
to instill the right culture, the right mindset, the right mentality into the
yeah.
Arsenal team right now. Especially now, I can honestly say he's not playing Ozil, he's not playing Guendouzi, because of he thinks that their mentality and their attitude is not right at the
it's a sort of
moment.
punishment lah, right?
Yeah, it's like a sort
Especially
of
for
punishment. No,
Gandozi.
actually, it's not a punishment, but the reward of you getting on the boat. He says that, okay, this is the boat. There are certain non-negotiables. If you want to
Mm,
be on the boat, you have to get in line and follow
mm,
the culture, the mindset. If not,
mm,
then that's the reward. If you follow in line, you are rewarded by playing. That's why Cerberus is playing now,
mm,
getting because they have the right attitude.
Because two things that I'm noting from like Manchester United lah, which is a good point, because this may be the best style for United, where you have a manager who's a bit more softer on the players, a bit more of like the person, the kind of Ole's way of like, it's okay guys, come on, slowly, let's do this together and all that, rather than being like, like, because sometimes it's not just criticize. I'm the manager, I have to tell you, if you're performing like shit, you're performing like shit. I'll tell you it straight to the face. So it creates like the mentality of you being harder. And then when it comes to a real test against a real strong opponent, you will have that mentality.